2, Scene 1. Act 2, Scene 1. Wolfe is sitting at a table in Jack's. The restaurant is full of well-dressed people. There's mood lighting, fine china, and a waiter dressed to the nines. Wolfe is fixated on the door. More water, sir?
What? Oh yes, thanks.
As Wolfe was turned around, Rose enters. After the waiter has finished filling up his drink, Wolfe turns his attention back to the door and sees Rose. She takes all the light in the room. Wolfe stands, Rose approaches him.
Wow.
Wow.
The red, it's wow.
So I'm guessing wow is good then.
Very good. You look amazing, Rose.
Well, thank you.
He pulls out a chair for her and Rose takes a seat.
I've had such a rough day. I really needed this.
Well, I'm glad to be of service.
Of course you are.
So, I guess you got my letter.
No, I just knew exactly when and where to find you.
So you've been stalking me.
Oh, yes. I know where you are at all times.
Interesting.
The waiter re-enters. Are you ready to order?
Yes, I'll have the steak. You know the rest.
Yes, sir. And for the lady?
I think she can order for herself.
Yes. How is your salmon?
You can't go wrong with anything here, miss.
I'll take your word for it. The salmon then, please.
Yes, madam. The waiter takes their menus and then leaves.
So, as I said in my letter, I've got something very important to tell you. Now, I know we've only known each other for such a short time, but I just feel so drawn to you. I feel like I've known you my whole life.
That's a very long time.
You make it sound like I'm old.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to know someone for your whole life is a very long time.
I agree, but don't you feel it too?
Well, I don't know exactly, but I think I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel anything.
Good, so I'm not the only one.
No, not entirely.
Well, anyways, I feel so drawn to you that I knew I had to do something for you. So this morning I took some time and I went to...
Charles, I don't want to marry you.
Marry me? I am. Rose, I'm not proposing.
Oh, thank heavens.
I wanted to tell you that I bought your shop.
What?
I bought your shop. I know it sounds like a big commitment, but it's not like I'm asking you to marry me or anything. It's just that when you told me your story, I thought that it was so beautiful and I was compelled to help you.
You bought my shop just like that?
Well, I know it's a little rushed, but I promise you that it wasn't a problem for me.
Wasn't a problem for you. You, in one simple move, bought out what I have worked for my entire life. It was so easy for you.
You're upset.
Of course I'm upset. You bought my shop without telling me.
I thought you would be happy.
Why would you think that? You think you can buy my affection?
Rose, that is not what I think.
Well, that's how it seems. You think I can't run my store. You pity me.
I think you are very capable of running your store. I've never even thought otherwise, I swear.
Then what are you trying to say here?
I was just trying to help.
Well, you didn't. I can't believe you would do this.
Rose, where are you going?
Just leave me alone.
She rushes out. The waiter comes back in with the plates of food.
Thank you, but I don't think we'll be needing that. Just put it on my tab.
Yes, Mr. Wolfe. Wolfe exits. Scene 2.
Rose, wait up. Rose, you can't just ignore me.
Oh, yes,
Rose finds her shop broken into. The door is standing wide open and some pots are thrown about on the floor. Dirt and flowers everywhere. In the middle of the floor lies a red glove.
What happened? Rose?
Just as I thought, my night couldn't get any worse.
Rose collapses on the ground and tries to pick up the shattered flower pots, but her hands are shaking. Wolfe bows down with her, trying to comfort her.
Rose, I'm so sorry this happened. I will find who did this, I promise you.
Wolfe notices the glove. He reaches to pick it up. He studies it and then shoves it into his pocket.
This is all my fault. I'm so sorry.
How is this your fault?
I should have protected you better. I should have known.
How could you have known? What's wrong with you? There's something off.
Rose, there's something I should tell you about who I am.
Who you are?
Yes, I'm not exactly who you think I am.
Who are you then?
I've been avoiding telling you this, and I'm sorry, but all I wanted was to protect you. I really thought it would work.
Stop stalling.
I'm not trying to. It's just that I don't know how you're going to take this. I'm a member of the Wolf Pack. I think someone's targeting you to get to me.
The Wolf Pack?
Yes, I'm part of the mafia.
The Wolf Pack. I've heard that before.
You probably have. We're one of the biggest mobs in the city. We hold a lot of power in this town.
Wait, I remember now. Those are the guys that put the drugstore on the corner out of business. That poor Mr. Porter. They broke into his shop, beat him up, and threatened him. He left town the next day. The cops totally looked past the whole thing. They said they were paid off by a gang. The Wolf Pack. You did that?
Exactly, but the man owed us money, a lot of it.
He was a nice guy.
Would a nice guy sell opiates under the table to teenage kids? He owed us a lot of money, and he made up this little scheme to earn it. So he sold these kids some opiates. He knew their friends would get addicted and then come back for more. They told their friends, and eventually he had a pretty lucrative business. He paid back almost all of his debt. But when we found out how he was doing it, we ran him out of town. Selling drugs to teenagers causes a lot of problems for us.
But did you have to beat him up and run him out of town? Couldn't you just, I don't know, talk to him?
Kids died, Rose, but he didn't care. He just kept selling. I don't think that even after he paid back all his debts, he would have stopped. He was making tons of money and no one was checking him on it.
Why couldn't you just turned him into the cops?
It's not that easy. As I said, it was all under the table. There'd be minimal evidence to find, and the kids' testimonies could easily be bought.
I still don't like it.
I understand that. It's a harsh life. I've seen so many bad things happen, but what I've learned is that if something is wrong, you have to put it right. You can't rely on anyone else but yourself.
I've learned that too. But none of this justifies you deceiving me.
I know that. This wasn't supposed to happen.
Wasn't supposed to happen? You were just never going to tell me? You were going to leave me in the dark to this whole other life of yours? You're right. This wasn't supposed to happen. I should have never gone out with you. I knew from the moment that I met you that there was something off about you. I should have gone with my gut. How could I have been so stupid? A business rival? How could I let you fool me like that?
I wasn't trying to trick you, Rose. I never was.
And oh my God, what would Gran think? She would be so upset with me for getting involved in this mess. How could I let myself be dragged into the affairs of a crook, a vandal, a villain such as you?
That hurts, Rose.
All you do is hurt people. You come into their lives and wreck everything. It's like all you gangsters do. It's like I give you some kind of sick pleasure.
You don't really believe that. You're just upset.
No, yes, I do. You'd be foolish to think I don't.
Rose,
Get out of here.
Rose, please.
I said get out of here. I don't ever want to see you again. Leave and never come back.
He hangs his head and then turns around and walks off to leave. Just before he reaches the door, he says,
The shop is paid for, and I'll pay for all the damages. You don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm truly, truly sorry for what happened.
Wolf leaves. Rose has her arms wrapped around herself and she covers her mouth and begins crying. She exits up into her apartment. Scene 3. Rose and Mary are in the store and packing some of Rose's things into cardboard boxes.
Wow. Your Gran really loved this china.
Oh, you don't remember all of the tea parties we had growing up?
Oh, I remember. Those were some of my favorite memories. But I never realized just how much she had.
There was a lot. Gran would tell me stories about how they were passed down in our family from generations. Her family brought them over from the Netherlands when they came here. They traveled a long way.
Well, they're absolutely beautiful.
Yes, Gran did enjoy the prettier things in life, like her flowers. Granddad's name may be on the shop, but it was always hers. It was her dream. My granddad helped her save up the money, and when they finally had enough, they opened their own shop. That's what true love is like.
True love? I never thought you would say you believed in it.
I do. It's just hard to come by.
Yes. Yes, it is. Rose, come look at what I found. It's an old photo album that your grand kept.
Wow, we were so young. Here's where we went to Coney Island.
Do you remember how your granddad had to fend off the seagulls from eating his ice cream?
That was so funny. Or remember when we were convinced that Miss Donahue was secretly an alien?
And we would follow her around the shop and take notes on any suspicious behavior.
That poor woman.
Oh, here's us in Central Park.
Granddad got attacked by pigeons there.
He really had a bad time with birds, didn't he?
I guess so.
Oh, I just remembered. I know I saw it here somewhere.
Mary springs to her feet and rustles through the boxes. She pulls out a framed photo and rushes back to hand it to Rose.
This was buried in a box of your grandmother's things.
A picture of my parents on their wedding day. Mom was so beautiful.
You look just like her.
Oh, hush.
You do! They'd be proud of you, by the way.
You really think so?
Yes, I do. You're a strong, independent young woman. What more could they hope for you?
You're too much.
The girls laugh and are interrupted by the bell on the door. Wolfe enters.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Oh, no, you don't. I told you that I don't want to see you anymore.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just here to order some flowers, and then I'll be out of your hair.
All right, but make it quick.
The same thing as before. 2 dozen roses.
I'll go prepare them.
Are you trying to win me back or something?
No, it's not that. It's
Because if you are, it won't work.
Rose.
I'm done being involved in your web of lies.
Rose, stop it. The flowers aren't for you. They're for my mother.
Your mother.
Yes, my mother.
Flowers for your mother. That's a lame excuse, Charles.
She's dead, Rose.
What?
The flowers are for her grave.
Charles, I swear if you're joking.
I'm not, Rose. I'm serious.
Why wouldn't you tell me what they're for?
Well, I don't normally just go around telling everyone that I just met that my mother died. Especially pretty girls that I'm trying to win over.
You weren't winning anyone over. What happened to her?
Well, you see, my father didn't care much for staying. He left when I was 3 and it was just me and my mother. She loved me with everything she had and she worked harder than anyone, but this put a lot of stress on her. She got sick, pneumonia. She died when I was 15. I was all alone, no family, no friends. I was unwanted and dirt poor. And that's when Big Pop found me. He said that he saw I needed someone. He invited me to join the Wolf Pack. They took me in and treated me like family. Pop said he always wanted a son, and his prayers were answered with me. Farther than my dad ever was. On my 18th birthday, Pop invited me to take his last name, and just like that, I was officially part of the family. That's why I can't leave. They're my family.
That's a lot. I had no idea.
That's just it. The mob isn't all bad. They take care of their own, no matter what. I can't desert them after everything they've done for me.
I understand that. I just wish things were different.
What do you mean?
I mean, I wish it was possible for us to be together. No mob, no store, just us.
Wolfe notices the boxes for the first time.
What are all the boxes for?
I'm leaving.
Where are you going?
Wherever the wind takes me.
What's going to happen to the store?
It's yours now. I think you should be the one answering that question. Come with me.
What?
Come with me. We can just leave together. I don't know where we'd go, but we'd find a place. We can leave everything behind and start new. I know that it sounds crazy. Even I think it's crazy. It's so unlike me to think of things like this. So, what do you say?
I want to.
Really?
But I can't just do that, Rose, and you know it. I have a lot of responsibility in this city. I can't just leave like that.
Oh, okay.
But if you'd stay in the city, we could be together.
No, there's just too much to it. I could never be able to live your lifestyle while everything's so lavish and nice. It's just too much for me. I was born into a simple life, and that's how I'll die.
I could change.
I don't want you to have to change to be with me.
There's nothing I can say to convince you, is there? Rose, I promise you that...
No more promises, Charles. I think the best thing for us to do at this point would be to say our goodbyes.
Is that really what you want?
No, not really, but I think it's what has to be done.
Very well then.
Mary enters with the roses. She places them on the counter.
Here you go, Charlie.
Thank you, Mary.
Wolf goes to reach into his pocket to pull out his wallet. Rose stops him.
That won't be necessary.
Thank you.
Goodbye, Charles.
Goodbye, Rose.
Wolf takes the roses and leaves.
I'm guessing that didn't go so well.
Actually, it was fine. Not great, but not horrible either. It just further cemented the idea in my head that I need to get out of here.
So you're sure about leaving then?
Surer than I've ever been about anything in my whole life.
Rose, are you really going to sell all of this?
Yeah, I'm packing light. All of this stuff just holds me back. I'm leaving it all behind. I won't need it where I'm going.
Where are you going?
To be honest, I don't really know. Just away. I've accepted things for the way they are. The shop is over, and so are things with Charles. I have nothing holding me back anymore. I'm free.
I'm glad to hear that, but don't you feel like you're running away?
Running away? No, I've just let go. I've never been able to say that before in my entire life. I've always held things so close until I practically strangled them. Everyone has been telling me to let go. Mr. Welsh, Charles, you. It took me a long time to realize it, but I finally have.
I'm proud of you, Rose.
Really?
Yes, you've grown. The Rose I knew a couple of months ago would have broken down from the stress of everything. She would have fought until her hands were red with blood and her body was worn down to shreds. It would have killed you. Now you have a positive outlook and a hope for the future. It's been a long time since I've seen this, Rose. What happened?
A lot. But it doesn't matter what happened, just that it did. I'm ready now.
I can come with you.
I can't ask that of you, Mary. After you met Stuart, you told me that you never wanted to leave. You have roots here. I don't anymore.
I just hate that you're going by yourself.
I'll be fine. I'm still a fighter, Mary. I can't be taken down that easily.
I know, but that won't stop me from worrying.
You don't have to worry about me. I'll come back and visit you, and I'll send you a postcard every chance I get. I can't just forget about a sister.
You're sweet.
Speaking of being sweet, I've been thinking about it, and I want you to have Granny's china. That's one thing that I think I would just have a really hard time selling.
Are you sure? I know it's worth a lot of money.
An even better reason to give it to you. I know that a collector would just sit it on a shelf, and I want it to go to someone who actually cares about it.
Thank you, Rose.
No need to thank me. I know Granny would have wanted you to have them.
Rose, there's been something I've been meaning to tell you.
What is it?
Well, yesterday I was out with Stuart and we got talking about our futures. We were just walking and talking about everything. And then he turned to me and he just looked into my eyes and said, "You're the one thing I know I want for sure in my future."
Oh, Mary, that's beautiful.
And then he got down on one knee and proposed to me. I mean, he proposed to me, Rose.
Mary, that's amazing. What did you say?
I don't know.
You told him what?
I told him that I wasn't sure.
Is that true?
I don't know. That's what's so horrible about it. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, and when it came, my mind went blank. And I just feel awful about it.
Well, do you love him?
I do. I love him so much. More than anything. I've never felt this strongly about anyone before.
Maybe you just froze up.
Maybe, but I just had this worry in the back of my head about getting it right. I don't know if I'm ready.
Knowing if you are ready is a bunch of nonsense. No one is ever fully ready. And if you wait until you finally feel ready, then you may miss out on something amazing.
I don't know, Rose.
Don't freak out about it too much. If Stuart is right for you, he'll wait. He'll know to give you your time and space.
He said he would let me think about it.
Good. Then I think you need to just breathe and look at the situation with open eyes.
You're starting to sound like me.
What can I say? I learned from the best.
Two figures enter the shop. Bonnie has a slender build and a confident walk. Rob is bigger and broader than Bonnie. He has a menacing glint in his eye. Both are dressed in fine clothes, Rob in a freshly pressed suit and Bonnie in a fitted black dress. Bonnie saunters up to the counter while Rob looks around the place.
Hello, how may I help you?
Well, you see, a friend of ours had an accident and recently passed.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't worry about it. We weren't close.
Okay. So what kind of flowers were you thinking? Lilies are the traditional choice, but we also have carnations, roses, orchids.
Listen, I hate to sound rude, but I really don't care.
Understood. I'll just put you down for lilies.
What's with all the boxes, miss? You going somewhere?
Actually, yes. This store is closing, but don't worry. The shop is still going to be open till the end of the week, so as long as you pick them up before then, you're good.
That's very sad to hear. I always did love this little shop.
Oh, that's strange. You're a regular? I didn't recognize you. I normally recognize all of our regulars.
I wouldn't call myself a regular.
Oh. Okay. So the lilies.
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry about this, but I'm actually not ordering flowers.
What?
Bonnie pulls a pistol out of her handbag and points it at Rose's chest.
If you listen, nobody gets hurt.
Who are you?
I'll answer that question in a little bit. Rob, run to the back and see if you can find some rope.
Yes, ma'am.
Rob exits to the back of the shop. Scene 4.
What do you want from me? Money? You can take it all. It's in the register over there.
We're not here for you, Rose Bennett. Yeah, I know your name. I've been watching you. See, we're looking for someone, and using you is the best way to get to him.
You mean Charles?
What do you want with him?
Hush now. If you both play nice, then you'll make it out of here alive. Just do as we say, and no one gets hurt.
Rob comes back in with the rope and pulls Rose and Mary into the center of the room. He ties them together.
Well, wait a minute. I've seen you before. Yes, it was you. You were the one who chased us out of that club that night.
Good, Rob. Now would you be a dear and keep out a look for our friend Charlie?
Rob crosses to the shop's big windows and peers through the curtains.
Yeah, that was us. It is a wonder to me why an innocent young woman such as yourself would hang out with the likes of Charlie Wolfe. He's no good, you know.
Neither are you by the sounds of it.
You're a funny little thing. I suppose you'd be right, but Charlie Wolfe is the worst.
He's planning on putting us out of business. That's why he needs to be taken out.
You're going to kill him?
We're not going to kill him. You see, Charlie Wolfe and the Wolfpacker, kind of like our rivals. We're members of the Barnaby Gang. I'm Bonnie, and that burly hunk of muscle over there is Rob. Charlie has some information that is very detrimental to our job, and our boss wants to extract it out of him. Then he gets to decide whether Charlie lives or dies.
Right now, we need Charlie to go quietly. Can't have a pigs being called on us.
You're all wrong about him. He has a good heart.
Missy, you don't know good old Charlie like I do. They call him the Big Bad Wolfe.
Does that sound innocent to you? Didn't think so. Hey, he's coming, Bonnie.
Charles?
That was faster than expected. Here comes your knight in shining armor, babe.
Bonnie and Rob hurry over behind the counter and crouch down behind it. Rose and Mary share a glance and then begin to try to alert Wolfe. Bonnie stands quickly and points the gun at Rose again.
I thought we had an agreement. Play along and you won't get shot. It really is that simple. Okay, now I don't want to hear another peep out of you. Got it?
Well, clearly, you two are going to be more trouble than I thought.
Rob, take him to the back. I don't want them messing this up.
Rob pulls the girls up and then pushes them off to the back of the store. Bonnie then sinks into the shadows of the room. After several seconds, Wolf enters. He is out of breath as if he has been running. A boyish grin is spread over his face.
Rose, I have some exciting news. Rose, where are you? Mary?
Bonnie emerges from the shadows. Her gun is drawn and she casually holds it in her hand.
Long time no see, Charlie.
Bonnie? What are you doing here? Where's Rose? I swear to God, if you hurt her, I'm going to kill you.
Oh, she'll be fine. Just a little tied up.
Let her go.
I will, but I want one thing. You. My boss wants to have a chat with you, man to man.
This is one hell of an invitation, but I'm not saying yes until I see that Rose is unharmed.
Fine. Bring him out, Rob.
Rob brings out the girls, still tied up. They are fighting against him.
Charles!
Wolf goes to rush towards Rose, but Bonnie steps in his path.
No. We have a deal. I spare them and you come with me.
Don't do it, Charles. They're going to kill you.
He's right.
I thought we told you to just shut up. Quiet while the big kids play.
The Barnaby gang. I should have known you two would turn up eventually. You left a present for me when you trashed Rose's shop. The red glove, your calling card.
So you noticed? How delightful. Well, it seems you were too stupid to take the hint because you didn't back off our turf.
Your turf, huh? Sweetie, you're in my turf. I run this whole city.
Sweetie, huh? I always knew you were a fool, Charlie, but I never thought you would stoop to this level. Bringing that girl around has made you weak.
No, it hasn't.
Bonnie walks to Rose and points the gun at her.
Aw, look at you tremble. Like I said, if you just come with me, I won't hurt a single hair on her pretty little head. And she is very pretty.
Stop. This isn't going to end well for you, Bonnie.
You're forgetting I'm the one holding the gun.
Charles, just leave while you can. Mary and I will be fine.
No. I know what these monsters do to people.
Don't act noble, Wolf. You're one of us.
I'm not like you. I would never terrorize innocent people.
I could just smash him.
Not now, Rob. We need him alive.
Listen, folks. As much as I'd love to talk to your boss, I'm just not feeling up to it today. Rain check?
In one swift move, Wolf knocks the gun from Bonnie's hand and the fight ensues.
Rose, Mary, are you okay? Did they do anything to you?
No, we're fine. Just a little shaken up.
I'm glad to hear that. I should have taken them out earlier before they became such a problem.
Well, I'm glad you showed up when you did.
Guys, we're getting antsy.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad both of you are safe. Oh, Rose, I came here to tell you something before all that went down. I was going to tell you that...
As they are talking, Bonnie slowly comes back to and reaches for her gun. Rose notices.
Charles, look out!
She pushes him out of the way. The gunshot sounds. Wolf and Rose collapse on the ground. Wolf sits up, but Rose doesn't.
Rose, you're bleeding.
Oh, my dear. Help me, Charlie.
They both help lay her out and look at the wound. Mary is applying pressure. Wolf has Rose's head in his lap.
Why would you do that? You should just let me die.
Charles.
She's losing a lot of blood.
Oh, come on, Rose. Stay with us.
She's not breathing.
Rose.
She's dead.
No.
The two sit there in shock, holding Rose's body. Lights out. Scene 5. At Rise, Wolf and Mary are in the shop packing up the boxes of Rose's things.
Thank you for all your help, Mary.
Oh, no problem, Charlie. I couldn't just leave all of her things here, no matter how hard it is.
Wolf holds up a book, flips through a few pages.
What is this?
He hands it to Mary. She reads it.
April 17th. Today I met the most obnoxious man, yet somehow he charmed me. We went on a date. I had the most amazing time. I didn't realize how long it had been since I had fun like that. It seems like a journal, It dates back several years. Here. Gran passed a week ago today, and I still feel empty. Now that she and Granddad have passed, I've lost my protectors, my providers, my world. Now it's just me and this big empty shop. Mary is trying her best, and I'm very thankful for that. But everything is just so different. Now that I'm alone, I have to fend for myself, and that means becoming stronger. I knew that it had to be hard on her. I knew it had to be a front, but yet she never let me see that. I wish I would have known.
Don't beat yourself up about it. She hid her feelings well.
Right.
Wolf keeps packing boxes as Mary continues reading.
This entry is from a long time ago. I didn't tell anyone this, but I got into Brown University. I didn't really mean to get in. I just submitted my application on a whim. I never thought I would actually get in. I can't go, though. With Granddad in the nursing home and Gran not looking so well herself, I have my hands tied. When I was younger, I always dreamed of getting away, escaping to a new land. But now that I see the two most important people to me crumbling away, I know that I can't leave. They have done so much for me. I have to put myself aside and take care of them.
Rose got into Brown?
I didn't even know that. She never told me. Rose was so smart. I told her that she could do anything she wanted.
Why would she throw away an opportunity like that?
Rose knew what her priorities were, and her grandparents have always reigned supreme. They needed her, so she stayed.
She surprises me, even now.
That's the thing about Rose. She was unpredictable. You never knew what she was going to do.
You can say that again.
I wonder what the last thing she wrote was. Oh, here it is. The time has now come that I can finally leave. I am free of everything that was holding me back and tying me here. There is only one who I can thank for that. Charles. Though he has caused me pain, he has helped me as well. He made me laugh and see that life can be happy and joyful and full of love. I wish I would have known him before he got into the mob. Maybe then I could have helped him as he has helped me. But I didn't. And now he cannot go with me on my new adventure. No matter where I end up, I will always be thankful for him. I love him. I'm sorry, Charlie. Maybe I should not have read that.
No, I needed to hear it.
She really cared for you.
Why didn't I go?
Why didn't she go to Brown? She put her family first, just like how you put your family first. There's nothing wrong with either.
But what if I'd just gone with her?
You can dwell on that question your whole life, and it will just swallow you whole. You'll never get an answer. So the best thing to do is just to let it go.
How do you let go?
A lot of time and patience and forgiveness. It doesn't just happen overnight.
Now I know why Rose always came to you with her problems. You're good at giving advice.
So what is going to happen to the shop?
That's actually something I wanted to talk to you about. How would you like to own the shop?
What do you mean?
I mean, own the shop, Rose's shop. Then it's Flowers. I own it, and I know that I can't run it, but I know that you can.
Oh, I don't know. That's a lot.
I know it is, but all of the debt is paid off, and I could help you get started, and after that, I can leave you be. Everything would be yours. Also, Stuart wouldn't have to work at that factory anymore.
How did you?
Rose told me. She said that it was hard for you two to see each other, and that the work can be dangerous where he is. You could run it together, but if that isn't something you want, I don't want to pressure you into anything.
No, you aren't pressuring me at all. It's just a lot to think about.
I understand that.
Honestly, I never would have thought I would be in this situation. Rose was always the strong one, so fierce and determined. I never thought I could fill her shoes. But I love this shop, and I can't imagine my life without it.
I'll give you time to think about this. You can talk with Stuart.
No, I don't think I need to. I know what I want. I know what I want my next step to be. I'm going to marry Stuart, and I'll take the shop. Rose was right. You never will truly know if you are ready for anything. You have to just do it and grow along the way.
Are you sure?
My whole life, I've always waited for a man to come and rescue me. Rose always said that I could save myself. Now I see that she was right. Though I may be slightly crazy for taking it on, I think I can do it.
Starting to sound like her.
I know. And I kind of like it.
Me too. She always wanted the best for you.
And for you too.
Mary hugs Wolf.
Thank you for everything, Charlie.
You go home, Mary. I'll close up the shop tonight.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Go on.
Mary gathers her things to leave. When she gets to the door, she turns around.
You be good, Charlie.
I'll do my best, Mary.
Mary exits. Scene 6. Wolf pauses and sits for a moment. He's alone on stage for the first time. He then goes to grab the box of Rose's things. Her necklace falls to the ground. Wolf stares at it. He picks it up, turns it over in his hands. Suddenly, he erupts.
Why her? What had she done wrong? Tell me. Why did she have to die? Tell me, please.
Wolf falls to the ground crying. He sits there for a moment. After a while, he slowly gets up. He looks around the shop for a pen and paper. When he finds them, he goes to the counter and begins to write. As he writes, he speaks aloud.
My dearest Rose, I never got to tell you this, but I talked to Big Pop. I told him about you. I told him I wanted to leave the city with you. I didn't know how he'd react. I thought he might be mad. But he hugged me and he told me he was proud of me. Proud that I found something worth living for. Found love. Rose, he told me I could go. I made a mistake. I should have just left with you. I should have run away at the first chance. Maybe then you'd still be alive. I'll never know. I will carry on with your memory for as long as I live. You will always be my Rose, my beautiful yet prickly Rose. I left the shop to Mary. I know that you trusted her more than anyone, and I feel that she's the best suited for the job. I know that I could just sell the shop or turn it into something else, but the shop has a life to it, almost as if you were still here, and I would hate to see that life fade away. It is with that I'm going to tell you that I'm leaving the city. I've tied up all my loose ends, packed my things, and said my goodbyes. All that is left for me to do is walk out the door. Where am I going? Wherever the wind takes me. My only wish is that you could go with me. Sadly, that is not the case. This leads me to my final goodbye. You, Rose. I never thought I would be saying this for the last time. That very first day I met you, I knew I wanted you in my life, even if I had to pester you so that you would stay. But here we are. I've never met someone quite like you. You truly are interesting to me. Even though our time was short, you've changed me for the better. I'm glad that I met you. Thank you for being you. I love you. I hope that we may see each other again someday.
Wolf signs the letter and puts down the pen. He stands for a moment. He then puts Rose's necklace and letter in his pocket and puts on his coat and hat. He walks to the door and turns around. He takes a final look around the store.
Goodbye, Rose.
Wolf exits. The end.
All right, how about a round of applause? That was the Big Bad Wolfe Act. Thank you all for joining us. I want to give a special shout out to our beautiful cast. Thank you all so much for all of your hard work. I would also like to give a special shout out to our board members and sponsors. Lastly, but certainly not least, the amazing, the talented, the lovely, the gracious Amanda Rooksberry. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to present your play.
Thank you all for joining us. There's more in store. For more information about Shawnee Theater, be sure to check out our website, www.shawneetheater.org. You can also go there to donate if you'd like. And thank you again for watching. We hope to see you soon. Stay safe and be blessed. Bye.